Hey everyone. Amit, we have talked about conversational commerce, headless technology while looking into the future of e-commerce. There's one more aspect that comes is the personalization tech, be it from recommendation on Netflix, like depending on your usage, or to an extent right now, some of the products are going to an extent where they get quizzes, they get information about you, and they deliver products customized to your needs, customized to your information and requirement. This is where the personalization tech is ranging right now. What do you think about its future and the role of AI and tech, especially in improving the experience for user?
Yeah, I think as there's such an explosion of content and products and services and games and metaverses and just so many things that you can do now online. And now with the coming metaverses and coming AR, VR, universes, there's just unlimited ways to spend your time and attention.
Yeah.
And the most precious commodity is time and attention. That's what everybody's after. So the question of how to spend it in the most productive way is relevant. In particular, when I'm looking for entertainment or travel or any need that I have in life, work, life, or play, I'm going to need to rely on reliable sources of recommendations and influence and expertise. And that's what today you call the influencer economy. It's really more geared towards a sales approach, but I think the future is all about value, and people will be able to, one click away, as they say. The internet makes everything one click away. So what really does that mean? And is it really one click away in today's platform economy? It's not. So as people move towards their own direct economies, there's just going to be so many direct options. And there comes the curation layer, there comes the personalization layer that allows, you as a person, as a user, to be more productive and to get the maximum for their time, which is ticking by. So it's going to be very relevant for the user, not so much from a push perspective from the brand saying, hey, let's try to target more. No, but think about it from the perspective of the user. You need to filter out so much, right? Yeah. So you want something that works for you. It's almost like a pull mechanism. The future is like declaring, I'm interested in certain things. There is no spam. You see, there is a direct connection around those interests and needs. And that's where the personalization comes from. So almost think of it like an agent universe where people are running agents, right? For themselves, their avatars or their, faceless agents that are, just software agents that are running on the internet for certain activities and tasks. If I'm looking to buy a house, maybe an agent is out there crawling, relevant things for me. And personalizing a lot of what it finds, because a lot of it is junk, right? Or I want to, travel somewhere and I want to find something really cool and some cool communities and whatnot. So you create a search agent that runs off and collects those results for you. And is it negotiating with other people's agents? And that's how the personalization happens based on, what you want, not what people want to personalize for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the future of personalization.
Yeah, it's your need, it's your requirement, that what you want to find out, what you want to filter out. That's the most important information businesses should be looking for. Wouldn't the privacy policies or the user data, so there is one thing where the user is willing to give their information, willing to put up the requirements, and the privacy policies right now are getting tightened, the user data, anonymous use, all that, could it become a hurdle to personalization tech, or will totally move to a universe, to a world where every information a company acquires is given by the user with a consent, not anonymously?
That's what we are at least building for. Right, in a totally private and at the same time public internet, which is what it is today, right? How does the internet work? It's private and public, isn't it? It depends on what you're doing with it.
Yeah.
So that infrastructure is what powers in our universe the future of commerce, in the sense that yes, it has to be opt-in. It's a first-party universe. All people on the internet are actually equal, right?
Yeah.
We create a real network of networks model, ultimately where all users compose the ultimate network of networks, right? Which is the internet.
Yeah.
So if everyone is basically equal on the internet, then they can directly work with each other with appropriate agreements.
Yeah.
And this is a first party, party to party, so peer to peer agreements that are happening on the fly, because you are actually acting as an agent on behalf of your own interests, and other people are as well. And now these agents are, communicating with each other and doing things for each other, just like you would, right? You're talking to people and creating agreements and doing things together. That's not a third party situation. There's no third party there.
Yeah,
the question of privacy doesn't, it's a direct model. So the question of privacy goes out the window, because you're already, now the technology underneath makes this possible. So it's a sort of blind market network, right? Everyone's effectively blind, as long as they let them share certain attributes about them, right? Like even a name. I only let you know my name, right? For example. Otherwise, you're just a user.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Yeah. So this is where we are heading, totally a first party consent driven agreements and communications with each other, which will lead to a personalization, which is the most efficient, appropriate, and to the point where what the user is looking for.
It's a seeking model, right? You're in it for something. And everyone is in it for something. So rather than doing push and trying to broadcast and try to just, it's a mess. Why not be most efficient and literally pull from anyone that also wants the same thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So that's more of an order matcher, So a global trade book, imagine, where everyone's effectively offering to buy and sell certain things. And you're basically a giant order matcher.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And this is where the creator economy, the like influencer or gig economy, whatever we want to call it, will be the efficiency will be at its peak, because it will be based on pull, as you said, it will be based on pull information. They'll curate data, curate things which are actually required by the users, which are actually being demanded by the users, instead of just throwing information at them and then letting them decide.
Exactly. So as I've said before, we are moving towards what is often has been called but never achieved, a buy-side economy, right? Whereas the world today is a sell-side economy. Everybody wants to sell. Everyone's selling. And I tell people, no selling. We don't sell anything.
Yeah.
There's nothing to sell. Because we just talk about what we have, what we're doing, and you can clearly see the value in it. And there is a sign up button, or you can, whatever that value offer is, if it isn't clear, then you need to sell.
Yeah.
Why you need to sell? A value is apparent, a value is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah, exactly.
So if that person isn't able to behold any value, then there is no buying going to happen.
Yeah.
So we don't sell. We're the buyer. What does that mean? It means we behold the value that is apparent, right? Otherwise, there's no buyer. I wouldn't buy something that has no value.
Yeah.
Why would I expect somebody else to do that?
Yeah, exactly. Why would we expect anybody to buy something they don't see a value?
Right. So then it's no longer a sell side thing. It's a buy side thing.
Yeah.
Right? You're always thinking from the perspective of the buyer, the consumer, the customer, right? Not the seller. The seller is always eager to sell. But it is now the personalization comes in, and it is now the influence and the reputation and the quality and the, all of those things come in, which is what drives that buying decision. It is not a selling game.
Yeah.
Right? It is a value game.
Exactly. Yeah. Thanks, Amit. Thanks so much for shedding light on what personalization tech would look like and what the future beholds for all the users.